Good morning, gang. Happy Monday morning. Okay, here we go. It's the start today. Today is supposedly when the truckers are going to stop delivering to New York City. Good, okay? It's about damn time that people stand up for miscarriages of justice. Let's use that as the term. Okay, I mean, this $355 million fine against Trump is just stupid. But what about other miscarriages of justice? Okay, the truckers are going to have to deal with this. People are going to be pissed. And as I said yesterday, what's going to happen? Give it a couple of days of no food coming into New York, and violence is going to start. Well, never mind, not start in New York. It's just going to get worse. Crime is going to continue. People are going to steal for, food, clothing, of course, tennis shoes. We got to steal those. TVs, and cell phones. Those always, for some reason, are absolute necessities for people to steal. Don't ask me why. The old joke. Open a work boots store, that won't matter. But, nobody ever steals those. But so, how do we stop the crime? If the truckers aren't going to come, rightfully so, okay, to protest, rightfully so. Of course, this isn't January 6th, We'll start with the February 19th insurrection of New York City. Mayor Adams will start screaming that these people all need to be arrested for not supporting New York because New York's important. New York is built on a pile of garbage, and it still is a pile of garbage, at least New York City, okay? It's the most popular city in the world. It's an armpit. If you've ever been to New York, you probably regret it, okay? If you're ever thinking of it, don't bother. But, so what do we do when the masses decide to start stealing, start threatening, start killing, or continue killing to get what they want? Well, here's a great idea. Watch this.
We can get rid of all the crime in America overnight, just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump? Change the definition of crime. Of course.
Let's redefine crime. There's a good idea. Stealing is no longer a crime. Murder is no longer a crime. Rape, no longer a crime. Why don't we do that? That'll get rid of crime. Sure. Okay, there's a logical answer. The funny part is we keep seeing lawlessness all over the country. I mean, stories yesterday. What was it? There were 2 cops and a paramedic that were killed when they went to a house that had a domestic disturbance. Okay. This one was good in Arizona yesterday. A guy stole a truck. Hey, truckers, pay attention to this because this could be happening to you too. Stole a car carrier full of Corvettes from a truck stop. Yeah, because he needed a ride home from prison. I'm not making this up. The link is below, okay? There you go. We'll get in a high-speed chase with Corvettes, a whole bunch of them, on the back of a truck because, 18-wheelers, they're so maneuverable and they're so fast. Ever been on the highway? Okay. Follow a truck on an off-ramp. You could read Moby Dick before you finally get on the highway. But this is what the idea now is out of the left. Let's decriminalize crime. Let's just go to complete anarchy. Let's turn into Mad Max, right? And you wonder why you prep. You wonder why Every channel out there says, arm yourself. You wonder why when people ask me how much ammo I should have, my answer is more. Okay? When people don't respect the law, that's anarchy. Okay? When you have no law, no system of justice, that's anarchy. Okay? I mean, the government makes the laws. If nobody follows the laws, you have no government. Okay? You have no social norms. And so this is what we're going to get into. There's a difference between protesting and insanity. Redefining crime is insanity. I want you to think, if that comment that I showed you from a lawyer, okay, Ben Crump, that's who that was, you might recognize that name, thinks we should decriminalize crime, how many people are going to listen to him and go, you know what, he's right. I should be able to kill my next door neighbor if his dog's barking. I'm hungry. I should be able to walk into the store and steal food. Here's the part he forgets. We the people, are not going to sit on the sidelines idly and go, oh, okay, go ahead, take whatever you want. No, we're going to go, F you, here's my response, and it's 45 ACP or 9mm is our response, okay? This is what we're coming to. America, Mrs. P and I were talking about this last night. My opinion. The problems we have in America are straight down to this. We have lost our moral compass. We have lost our self-respect. We have lost our dignity. Okay? A lot of you here are old enough to remember the good old days, okay? And every generation says that. I mean, I remember my parents saying it. I remember my grandparents saying, oh, if things were only like they were back then, okay? And maybe there's some truth to it, because now our generation is saying, if only things were like back then. And first to tell you, when I grew up back in the 80s, okay, the world wasn't perfect, okay? It wasn't great. But maybe you guys remember this. First time I was on an airplane, I was probably about 10, okay? And my folks had me put a shirt and tie on, okay? You got on the plane, people were dressed. Now you go into an airport and people are in their pajamas. They got body parts, I'll keep it polite for the morning, body parts hanging out all over the place. I don't remember seeing anybody when I was in high school with their pants below their ass. Okay. I remember being a kid and we'd go out to dinner some Friday nights and mom and dad would say, put your school clothes back on, you know, your nicer clothes, to go eat at an O'Charlie's, an Applebee's, nothing fancy. Go in there now and, you know, it looks like people just came out from cleaning the sewers that are in there eating, okay? Walk into a grocery store, you know, take a look at the pictures in the 1950s, for example. And the mother is in the grocery store walking around in her dress. The housewife, okay? And she had a dress on and had her makeup done and looked nice. Now you go into Walmart at noon and there's people running around in their pajamas, okay? There's actually a restaurant here nearby where I went in one time and the waitress was in her pajamas. Complete lack of self-respect. Complete lack of decorum, no morals. Everybody bitches about politics. Left, right, whatever. How we get our country back is real simple. Have some dignity. Somebody instills some dignity. Remember the old no shirt, no shoes, no service? Okay. Now that'd probably be considered racist. But businesses need to stop letting people come in that are disgusting. Okay. People need, the society as a whole needs to shun people that are disgusting. Schools need to enforce dress codes. Workplaces enforce dress codes. I mean, I wore suit and tie for 20 some odd years, 30 years. I don't know what, from about 1990 to when I started working from home, 25 years. Okay. I wore minimum shirt and tie or suit and tie to work. Okay. Fine. Not every job requires that. I'm not asking a automobile mechanic to wear suit and tie. But you walk into professional places of business at this point on a Tuesday, not even casual Fridays used to be still maybe an open collared shirt and a pair of slacks. Now you're lucky if it's a polo shirt and a pair of jeans. This is where we've lost our morality. We've lost our sense of self-respect. We've lost our dignity. That, in a nutshell, is what we're fighting back for. That is what this truckers' strike is about. Yeah, it's protesting the $355 million fine to Trump, no question. Okay. But the issue is, deep down, it's protesting the lack of dignity that is in this country. When we have a Surgeon General who's obese, that makes you question their competence. Okay? I'm not going to get into the rest of the stuff. Okay? But start looking at that. Maybe do it a little better, because this is what we're fighting for. We're not fighting for freedom or liberty. I mean, we are, but that's not the base point. Basically, what we're fighting for is American dignity. Go around the world. Anywhere. Okay? Go to China. The people are dressed impeccably. Go to Japan. Every school kid is dressed impeccably. Go to Russia and find me one woman who is not dressed nicely. 18 years old or 80 years old. Find me one. You can't. Okay? But in the United States, we can be a slob and, hey, it's my style. No. My culture. No. Okay? Show me in history where there's a culture of people who wear their pants down around their thighs. You can't. Okay? It's not culture. It's disgusting. This is where we need to go. And this is why we need to support law enforcement, dignity, respect. This is where we're headed if we don't. We're going to have more people like this going, decriminalize everything. We'll have anarchy. Okay. If people have no respect for themselves, how in the world do you expect them to have any respect for others? You can't. And Ben Crump doesn't care about anybody respecting other people. He doesn't deserve any either himself. Pinball out.